first stop on this fall yarn crawl is to get gas, because I did not realize that my car was almost on E, and I never really drive my car. So we're having to get some gas, and then I'm going to grab a biscuit, and then we're going to get on the road. But I'm excited to see this new yarn store. I've never been to this yarn store, but I know it's really cute. I'm going to try not to spend a lot of money. I don't really want to get more memory kind of things, like maybe one skein of yarn. But mainly I want to find something that's locally dyed or something that's recommended by people in that shop voluntarily, because that makes it more of a memory yarn. Like yesterday, I got that yarn that was recommended by the ladies that were just sitting there talking to me. They're like, hey, you need to try that yarn. And so those kind of little things are important to me. They make the trip more memorable and the moments more special. Come with me and you'll be on a merry yarn adventure. We'll have patterns that ignite your pure little imagination. I'm just kidding. Let's play some real music. So welcome back to day 2 of the Fall Alabama Yarn Crawl. If you've missed the first video, you can find it up in the cards or down below. But yesterday I took you through Birmingham to Knit Birmingham or Knit Beham, and then to Kalira's Paper Crane Yarns. This is a 5 yarn store yarn crawl across the state of Alabama for a total of 535-ish miles, and nearly 10.5 to 10 hours in the car of just driving, and it's a great fun time. So I hope you are ready to go visit today's yarn store all the way in Opelika, Alabama. Hope you enjoyed the little song. Hope you got your project to work on. Sit back, relax, and let's get there so we can go shopping for yarn. Sad to say, I cannot find that much information on all Strung Out Yarns. The yarn shop is located at 109 8th Street South, I think, Opelika, Alabama, and it's located in this really quaint downtown area of Opelika. So walking up to the yarn store, you can tell it's going to be cute because it is painted the most perfect shade of pink. And I couldn't really find what day she actually opened the yarn store or how long it's been there. I think she said she's only been there like 2 or 3 years though. And she's another young yarn store owner, which also excites me, seeing a younger people who even want to own a yarn store for the next generation. It made me so happy. And then outside, she had this great little sign painted for the yarn crawl, and it had the exact same graphic on it that the yarn crawl passes had. And I just thought it was a great little touch to kind of welcome people in. I tried to take picture of those whenever I saw them, but she was really the only first one that I had seen, and I only saw it at one more other, or maybe 2 other yarn stores. But I kind of wish everyone had done that, because I think it's just a cute way for people to stand and get their picture made by it as a memory and to share. But I was the only person there because I had nobody with me, so I just took a picture of it to show you. Her yarn store did have this big front windows. It's kind of more of a rectangle shaped store, and it's really only in one room. It was one of the smaller stores that I've been in thus far. I think it might have been the smallest store that I was in so far of the yarn crawl. And the front windows did provide a bit of lighting, but there wasn't that much brightness, and I kind of wish it had a little bit more lighting in there, just because I mentioned earlier how it really makes the yarn pop and you can see it really well. But I was still able to see. But the floor is what got me at the store, because it's a really older building that's converted, and the floor is like the original wood floors. So they have the best creaky sound that you can even possibly think of. And I know some people, it would kind of probably drive you crazy, but it just like made my little heart delighted to hear the little creaky sound as you walked on the floor. I don't know. I just really thought it was so cute. But when you walk in, there is a window that's a bay window, and it has some stickers and stuff in there. and some dog treats, and then her register, and then there is a wall of yarn. There's some yarn on the back. There's also a sofa and 2 chairs you can sit on and knit or crochet and have conversations. Then there was a table that kind of greeted you that had all of her spooky season Halloween picks, and there was quite a few on there that were really hard to say no to, along with some spooky season stitch markers and other knitting and crochet related things. And then there was this tall spinner that had some project bags on it, and then there was some yarn on the back wall of minis, a doorway, and then some more yarn in a little step up section, and then a couple of bookcases on the floor, and then some more yarn up by the front window. I feel really bad. I feel like because I was rushed and because I was so tired, I don't want to say I did her store a disservice, but I wasn't in there long enough to fully to look at everything and to appreciate all the yarns that she had, because she has such a huge variety of hand dyed yarns. And part of that was me knowing that if I looked at hand dyed yarns, I'm going to want to buy hand dyed yarns. And she had several yarns that caught my eye that I was like, ooh, I really want that. But I tried to be good and restrain myself. But I was very impressed with the amount of yarn in that little location and the amount of variety of hand dyed yarns. And she also had commercial dyed yarns too. It's not just completely hand dyed. But I was just really impressed with the overall setup and her use of space as far as getting so much in that space. It was a really comfortable store to be in. You just kind of feel very at home, and I appreciate that in the yarn store because I know, I've been in yarn stores before as a crocheter where that was not the case, and where the yarn store owner did not view crocheters at the same level as a knitter and almost viewed them as beneath someone who is a knitter. So I really appreciate the inclusiveness, I guess you can say, of just feeling really at home and looking around. And I would have really loved to stayed and talked to them longer because there was another lady on the couch. She was knitting on something. They were both very, very nice, but I just did not have time at all. But it was definitely a yarn store that I think I would love to go back in and hang out in. And if it wasn't a 2-hour drive, that would be something that I would definitely consider doing in the future, because I did want to explore her yarns a lot more because she had a variety of yarns. I know she had some Freya, she had some ridiculous yarns, and she had, I think, 2 different male dyer yarns. They with some really pretty colors. One was Dragon Yarns. I forgot which. I think it was just Dragon Yarns. And then she had maybe had image yarn. I know she had some paper crane yarns, but she just had a great variety. She has some blue sky fibers, and I just really encourage you to, if you're ever in Opelika, to check that out. But I'm going to play the rest of the footage that I got for you, and then I'm going to meet you back and I'm going to talk about what I purchased at that store. So I do want to share what I got with you at her store. There was several things that I wanted to get, but again, I was trying to keep it together. And in that window, there were the buttons. I saw several cute buttons. And I did see this button that I thought was adorable. And it's from Christy Cochran. and it says, "I knit past my bedtime." So if you know or watched my channel for a while, you know that every evening we get in bed and we watch TV, and I always knit and crochet in bed. Sometimes I share photos of which cat is like sitting next to me, but I just thought this was so cute, and I do love a pin for a project bag. So, and it's a cat knitting. It was bound to come home with me. And then on that table that when you first walk in that had all of her Halloween selections, she did have some stitch markers, and I love just a plain jump ring stitch marker. I thought I had one on my project, but I guess I dropped it in my son's truck when we were riding today. But I saw these little snagless fit up to a size 8, but they're little cat ears and they're colorful. I love these so much. These are twice sheared sheep. I'm starting to realize that I really love their stuff they put out, and I really probably should look at their actual website. Because so far on this trip, I've been to 3 yarn stores, and I have got something from them at every yarn store. So, obviously, they do really good. And then she had these little cute bags, and it's mystery. And there's just a cat sticker on here, which I'm definitely going to put in my planner, but I don't know what's in here. So I thought I would open this up with you and see. But it was a mystery stitch marker set. I don't want to tear my sticker. I'd rather tear the bag and not the sticker. Okay, oh, there's a good bit. Okay. So in here we have a little wooden stitch marker that has a cat with yarn. That's cute. And then there's another wooden one, which has another cat. Oh my goodness, I love that I got all cats. And then there's this little green acrylic. It's another cat. That's super cute. And then there is an orange cat. And then a red sparkly cat. I'll have to use that one for Christmas. And it's funny that I got that because the yarn that I picked out is a Christmas colorway. So that's perfect. So I'm actually going to take off, I'll find another pin stitch marker so I can attach this to here, and I'll use it when I use this. But this is a skein that you say it ridiculous, but you add the BRE in front of it. So ridiculous yarn. And I just thought it was really, really pretty. I'm going to set down the cat stitch marker. I really like it. I love the colors of it. So this is Joxer DK. It's a DK weight yarn, a 4-ply. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm trying to not buy fingering weight yarn because I have so much fingering weight yarn, and my DK weight yarn there's not a lot of it. So I want to, if I'm going to stash something, I need to stash some of it so I can actually knit some of the DK weight things off my Ravelry queue next year. So I did pick up another DK. And this is 100% superwash merino. There's 231 yards and 100 grams. And it is called Winter Cottage. But I just really, really like this a lot. And it was really hard for me to choose this yarn because there was a fallish pumpkin-y color that was by the same dyer that I really also liked. But I was only going to allow myself to get one skein of yarn. And so I chose the Christmas one. And I'm excited that I got a little Christmas stitch marker to put with it. So when I knit this up or crochet this up, I can use that stitch marker with it. So apparently she was passing out cookies if you spent X amount of dollars. Unfortunately, when I got there, she was out of cookies, which is fine. I probably did not need a cookie, but she was kind enough to give me a I owe you a cookie card. So if I go back, I can get my cookie. But here's her business card. I love the dog. Apparently, she does occasionally bring her dog to the shop sometimes with her, and unfortunately her dog was not there that day because I would have loved on the dog. I love shop pets. I just love them. And then she was so kind to give me a sticker to put in my journal, so I definitely appreciate that. And then I also got a pin from King Cole. I love knitting, and I thought I actually had this pin, but I do not. I have a bag over here. I don't know if you've ever seen it in the background, but ever since I started knitting and crocheting, I've been collecting buttons and putting them on that bag. But this will definitely go on that bag. And then I also got a pin that says King Cool Yarns, and I love King Cool Yarns. I didn't purchase any of them, but I love them. They're from the UK, and I have some of King Cool Yarns over there in a basket actually, and I've knit up a bunch of their yarns, and it's always a really great yarn. So I was super excited to get a pin because who doesn't love pins? And it's pink like her store. But those are the things that I picked up at her location. I just really had a great time. I really hope to go back there again one day soon and hang out with them and knit and crochet and really dive into exploring the yarns more. But that is all I have of this yarn crawl adventure. I hope you enjoyed your time at All Strung Out in Opelika, Alabama. The next stop is going to be at Yarn Boutique in Decatur, Alabama, and then from there we'll be ending the yarn crawl at Taming of the U in Gadsden, Alabama with Miss Pat. I thought it would just be the perfect way to end this because Miss Pat is the one that put this whole thing together, and I'm just so thankful that she did because I really had a great time going to these 5 yarn stores, and I can't wait to show you Yarn Boutique because if you like hand-dyed yarns, this is the store for you because it was like overwhelming the amount of hand-dyed yarns packed into this building, and I can't wait to show you. So I will see you in the next one.